Hey there, in this demo we're going to take a look at Mixamo by Adobe. You can get into it if you have an Adobe password. All right, which you all should have because you get one free at the school, assuming this is the same school we're talking about. Anyways, we're going to upload the character that we're going to be working with, is Skater Girl. She comes from Mixamo actually, just modified her a little bit. So that she had legs instead of baggy pants. All right, so when you first bring it in, it comes in like this, and you hit next. And then you just put these little circles where her wrists are, her elbows, and her knees, and her groin. And there's instructions here in case you get lost. Hit next, and it does its little thing. It's funny that it's having trouble with it because it's its own model. Okay, and then it puts a test animation in there, and you can see that it's taken a model without any rig whatsoever and rigged it perfectly. I love this program. Next, yep. Now it's in the window, and now I can go through here and just click on any of these animations um, and choose them. Uh, and you can see what Mixamo does is it can take any character, any size, and then it matches it up to any of these animations. And there are quite a few animations. Um, here's 96 per page. It keeps going and going and going, and there's male and female. And they move in, they translate space and they just stay in place and stuff, but they're all done. Um, and you can make them go the other way. They're all done using motion capture. Uh, a lot of them are done using motion capture. And so let me get one that stays in place. How about one that doesn't suck? Okay, there we go. And you can see these are the only bones you get. So remember, I was talking about in the intro to this video, page, I was talking about there not being any control objects. You get all the joints and all the animations if you want them, but none of the control objects. So you can use a mixture. Say you wanted to use this character in a game, you can bring this character and any of these animations, all bring them into the game. But if you want to do original animations or modify the existing animations, that becomes a lot more difficult. The animations that come in from this are ticked on every frame at 60 frames a second. So that's a lot of frame culling to go through because you get 24 frames a second. So these are ticked on the half second, and everyone. So it could be like 10,000 keys for just this little 120 frame thing. Actually, it would only be twice that, so you'd still have to go through 240 frames for 120 thing, but it'd still be a pain in the neck, and trying to find out which ones are the important ones is always difficult. But we can bring these into a game, and then we can put a rig on this and animate that rig, and then those animations we can also bring into the same game, and it'll be all on her character. So you can see how useful this is. So now I'm going to download this character. Yeah. I want 24 frames a second. And I actually don't want any animation, but I don't know how to get just the T-pose. So we'll fix it there. Okay, so now I go into my downloads here, I got so much stuff going on. And they're just going to call that idle FBX. And if I go over here and open up Maya, I should have had this open. I can just drag that file in there, and you can see that she's all ready to go. I make this 120, which was the length of that animation. You can see it'll play through the whole thing. If I turn off polygons, you can see there's the skeleton. If I select the skeleton, you can see there's all the animations, and it's really hard to get in there and call them out and fix them. There's not, I mean, there's a bit of software in Maya that does it, but it's not very good. So if you want this to actually work, we're going to need to take all the animation off. I should have just exported it without the animation. And I wasn't thinking. I could have done that. I had to do things the hard way. But in the animation module, if you go to animation here, then you can go to skeleton. Animation. Oh no, it's rigging, sorry. Rigging. And you go to skeleton. You can do assume preferred angle, and it goes back to the T-pose. And so that all you need to do, I didn't quite take all the keys off, did I? I just took the keys off the top of the stack, but not the rest of it. Okay. Great, so now we just have this T-pose to play with, and as you know from previously, now we can go and we can put IK and stuff on it and then animate it just like we were used to. The one thing is that you don't want to do is change any lengths or scale anything. If you want to use this in conjunction with the Mixamo ones, you have to maintain the skeleton as is. Now, like I said before, you can come in here and do all sorts of crazy helper stuff to it, right? We can go in here and I have to turn off. There's a bug that if I don't turn off helpers, handles, some helpers, I think it is, that you can't use IK unless you turn off something. Let's try that. Okay, I'm going to go to rigging. Rigging, we want to put some IK on the leg. There to there. Oh, that worked. And now we can grab the IK handle. That bends just great. And we can do the same for that one. Actually, I'm going to take that off. And for this pose here, right, I'm not super happy with the way that it's going to go. So on frame 0 with animation on, I'm going to animate a slight bend in the leg there like that. Just a teeny tiny one. These forward. These back. Great. Now I'm going to add the IK because it will better understand the directionality of the IK if I do that. See how the foot's kind of twisting? It's okay, we'll lock that down. but it's better than it was. Sometimes you can trick this stuff into working. Hi, welcome to Maya, where you have to trick things into working all the frigging time. Do that to that. And then we can do our other IK, this to this, the reverse IK, reverse footlock. And then we can come over here and create some curves. This down, I'm going to turn on show polygons again. Just want to see what I'm looking at, where her toes are and stuff. So her toes are actually down there. So I can afford to rotate a bit. I'm going to turn shading X-ray joints so I can see them. And then we can move these up just a tad before we you and you. Hang it. I'll just do it like this. Rest assured, there are a few micro adjustments you need to make before you get too far into this. Let's see if I can find the right handles. You up a little bit. And you up a little bit. And you. Of course, I named them so I can tell what they are. Actually, I just know where they are. That's kind of helpful. Okay, those are up on the ground plane. There's my 0, 0. I can now move these up here like this. And we want this one. Make sure they're on the same foot to this. Remember, parent that to this. Then we can move it. And then these two to this one. And now we have complete control. There'll be no more twisting and running weird. Now we own you. Okay. Create another one of these thingies. That's pretty good. Swing way up here to the top of the hierarchy. Also select this, go like that. And now we're well on our way to having IK working. And remember, it's just the rotational information on these joints that just the rotational information on these joints. Sorry, I wanted to test her leg, and I have to figure out what the heck the leg IK is in order to do it. So I'm not going to bother because I didn't name it. But the rotational information of these joints is all that the computer cares about. So it'd be very easy to keep going with this and rig this whole character, or give this character control objects like we did with the other character, and then use this animation and the other animations together to do whatever we want. and need, like I said, the only problem is trying to edit these things are very difficult to edit. And once you put control objects on them, the animations that come from Mixamo don't work anymore. So there's the rub. You get a wonderfully skinned character, but you got to build your own control system, which I kind of prefer, to tell you the truth, because then I get all those animations to use if I need them, and then I can control them. And if I really get into a pinch, I need to modify one of the Mixamo animations to work for me in some way. I can always bring it into to Motion Builder, where it's more akin to working. That sort of thing works a little bit better because you can stack layer your animations. You can do it in here too, but it works a little better in Motion Builder. All right, but we're not concerned with that. We're just rigging this and passing it off. So there you go. Now you have an answer for your animator. On to the next thing.